Alrighty, a bit of a different angle for you guys. So, Saturday coming up, the Raleigh Rumble 2. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm actually making this video before I'm going to do another workout. People might say, hey man, what about your taper? It's just how you feel, man. If you're not that beat up, then, I don't feel like you need that much more time to recover. So anyways, let's go through a whole bunch of stuff. This might be a bit of a lengthy one. So first off, I want to go through our sponsors, do my due diligence with that there. Corey's Mobile Truck and Repair Service for Corey Little. I appreciate you for sponsoring our events. We got Send It Arm Fights with Jeremy Romano. We got J Visual, Silverback Arms Crew, 98%, ESC Media, working with all these guys. Audio Artisan with Keith McKee. I appreciate you, my brother. Swain Southern Carpentry with our guy Chris Swain. Djokovic Construction with Thomas Djokovic. Thank you to everybody who's involved in making this event happening, and also, if not more importantly, the competitors themselves. Thank you guys so much for bearing with us and helping to make this event happen on such short notice compared to a lot of other super match events, which are typically well in advance. You guys are amazing. So what I wanted to talk about today, beyond that, is going to be the card for the lineup here. So finally got the matchup. I know I've hardly mentioned any names. I do apologize again. Just trying to get a lot of things ready, and even up until yesterday, we had another dropout for one of the matches there. So this is why I kind of wanted to hold off before I just start listing a bunch of stuff, listing a bunch of names, saying a bunch of stuff. Again, timing is all over the place here. We're gonna go through all this, man. Give you my thoughts and opinions on the matches. So we got 21 total matches. So let's try to go through them and try to be succinct, brief, and objective. And it includes objective towards guys who are on my team. I don't want to play favorites. Just try to get my honest thoughts and opinions on things. It's much love to everybody who's competing here. So if I say something, you're like, wait a second, why? I'm not trying to talk crap. It's just based on my own perception. And some of these guys I really do not know much about. So I apologize if sometimes I come across and I'm just like, dude, I've literally never seen you pull. So I just can't really give much of an opinion in certain cases. It is what it is. So first off, Roger Scarborough versus Thomas Djokovic. That's going to be our first match of the day. And this is at 165 pounds, right hand. So the first 13 matches I'm going to list are all just right hand. I'm just going to say that off the bat. And as far as the listing, I kind of go and kind of build up. I had to accommodate some requests for early leave, but I'm trying to build up to the more experienced pullers, more so to speak hype matches. Not to say anybody's match can really be a hype match, but some of the more well-known pullers is what I'm getting at, right? So just so you know, for the list, why it's like this. So we got Roger Scarborough versus Thomas, and I felt both of these guys. And I gotta say, I think this one could actually be a war. I really think it can be. They both are pretty strong and very similarly strong. I think Roger has the better hand, but I think Thomas has a stronger arm. So, of course, if you can't access your arm, it's going to be a lot of trouble there trying to win your positions. But I think if Thomas does find a way to win center, it's going to prove very hard for Roger. So that's going to be the kicker here. These are all best of 5, of course, like usual. So this right here, man, I wouldn't be surprised. Man, just the X Factor, I don't know, man. Just because Roger has that dog in him too, man. I mean, these guys, they're both. Oh, so, okay, I have to make a decision here. I might have to give this one to Thomas. 3-2 though. And this could easily go the other way. So it might be 3-2 Roger. So we'll just have to wait and see. But my prediction, I'm saying 3-2 Thomas. And then we got Nick Knapp versus Tucker Peace. So this one here, 187. And Nick Knapp versus Tucker. So the way Nick has felt lately, you know, he's been pretty consistent lately. I know Tucker has been training hard also. So in comparison to how I have felt them in the past, this is gonna be tough. I know they're both probably gonna hook. They're both probably gonna hook, and they both got pretty nasty hooks. I'll say like Nick's side pressure in a hook feels stronger than Tucker's, but Tucker's drag feels stronger than Nick's does. So I think that's gonna be a kind of an interesting little dichotomy there as far as the hooking strengths. But if I have to edge this out, man, this might be Tucker. Might be Tucker 3-1 or 3-2 or maybe 3-0. I don't know. We're gonna say Tucker 3-1. Okay, that's that one. I love you, Nick. You know I do. And so moving on, we got my guy Chris Swain versus Ethan Bridgman. Now Chris is hungry. He wants a dub. He's coming off, I think, that last loss versus David Singletary with that nasty press. David is also on this card, by the way, going against, I think, Kurt Welch on left. Yep, we'll get more to that sooner later. And so Chris Swain versus Ethan. Ethan, a young guy. He's actually kind of pulling up for this one. He's around high 170s. So I think Ethan was previously ranked number 4 at 165, and this right here, I think could prove interesting. I know Chris is cutting a lot of weight for this match, and I don't know Ethan a ton in terms of his strengths. I know I gripped up with him at a recent practice, but that practice was kind of like a weird one. I was feeling really weird that day. I went to John's practice. John Stosbury's practice, and it was just, I don't want to get too off track here, but I gripped him with Ethan during King of the Table, and obviously I'm like way heavier than Ethan, so I just kind of, so I can't really give a lot of data as far as what I've seen on Ethan, but if he was ranked initially, he has an idea of what he's doing, and that experience could very well come into play versus Chris. And Chris cutting there. Chris is otherwise a pretty damn strong guy, so it's all going to be like how he manages to come up off this cut into the following day. If Chris, with that 24-hour weigh comes in nice and plump the next day, this might be, I think, 3-2 Chris. But if that deficit, that weight cut has really affected Chris, this might go the other way. Because, I've wake up before. I remember I did a nasty-ass, 2-day weight cut for 10 pounds when I fought against Willie Comer on left hand a couple of years back. We had a hell of a war. And, man, I went into that match like death. Absolute death. So it could definitely really kill you. So, but we're going to say, so depending on Chris's cut, might be 3-2 Chris. Or, Ethan might get him when he's bad. It might be 3-0 Ethan. But I'm going to say 3-2 Chris. Next, we got Luke Conger versus Oliver Jimenez. I don't know a lot about Luke. Again, I do apologize. I do know Oliver is a crazy motherfucker. The way he pulled my guy Victor Vladimirov, and Victor's a strong-ass dude. And Oliver can attest to that. Oliver is a pretty fucking strong guy himself. Because I don't know a whole lot about Luke, man, I'm just going to say Oliver. Oliver will fight you like an animal on that table, man. I got respect for that. Not a lot of people will go crazy like he does. So, if you want to see a crazy match, go to that, I forgot the event, but Oliver went up against my guy Victor, and, that was a very tough battle, but Oliver did win that one. So I'm going to say Oliver, we'll say 3-1 Oliver just because I don't know Luke like that. But good luck to both gentlemen there. Next up, we got my guy Jason Yost versus Nelly. This right here, oh my God. So if Jason can lock in that hook, I think it's Jason all day. But can he lock it in? Because Nelly's style is very counterintuitive to a hook. It counters hooking. He has a very explosive top roll. He has a very explosive press. So if Nelly can get that hit off the go, we know Nelly's very fast. Huge kid, huge guy, right? If Nelly gets that hit off the go, I think Jason's in trouble. But Jason, he has shown in the past, he can really duke it out. So and then last time I felt Jason's hook, that shit felt pretty nasty. So if Jason locks in that hook, man, Nelly's in for a bad day. But just with that hit factor, man, I might have to give this one to Nelly, 3-1 or 3-2 Nelly. But again, it just depends on if Jason could get in that hook. If Jason locks it in every single round, I think it's 3-0 Jason. I haven't felt Nelly in a while. Nelly's probably been still working. I'm not exactly sure. I've seen videos pop up here and there. So if he's made a ton of gains, this could be an easy win for Nelly, just depending on that. But just based off the knowledge I know and the last time I gripped up both these guys. So hit factor, we'll say Nelly 3-1. So then we got James Looper versus Giles Russell. Oh man, this one. Giles is top roll. His hand is fucking nasty, dude. James is gonna have his work cut out for him controlling that. I don't think I have to think too much about this one. Looper, prove me wrong. I'm going Giles 3-1 on this one. And then we got my guy Keith McKee versus Cody Kellner. Now this one, I don't know Cody. I don't know. I apologize again. Don't know Cody. I know my guy Keith. And this, I mean, two amateur pullers, man. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to root for my guy Keith. We're going to say 3-2 Keith just because I'm not familiar with Cody. Then we got my guy Josh Roberts versus Kurt Welch. Now, this one here, man, Kurt has that dog in him. We all know. We've seen how he pulled against Kenny Sorrell. Stylistically, Kenny, most people would say Kenny should have won that match. I said Kenny should have won that match. And Kurt has shown that he can fight from terrible positions. You know, he has an arsenal of arm wrestling handles that he's always training with. And Josh is still ferocious, man. I mean, he's hungry. But I don't know, man. Like, I felt Kurt before. And this one, Josh has his work cut out for him. Kurt is a strong dude. He's a strong dude. So I'm going to say 3-1 Kurt. Josh, don't hate me. Love you, brother. And then besides that there, just checking the time on my thing. Okay. And then besides that there, we got Tony Hasbrook versus Matthew Schweber. So my guy Tony, my guy Matt, got a lot of love for both these guys. And so this one here on the right hand, it's been a long time since I've gripped up with Matt. I know we had a match a while ago. I was pretty successful there versus Matt. Woo. And Tony has a nasty hit. Tony, for y'all who don't know, Tony, his father Skip Hasbrook, a seasoned veteran, pro in the sports. He doesn't really compete anymore, but if you ever graced with the opportunity to pull Skip Hasbrook in a hook, go ahead and feel that power. That man is legit. This is one of his sons. Mikey Hasbrook is the other one, and they are very fundamentally sound. When you pull them, you will feel all that prowess there. So I'm gonna go 3-2 Tony. Matt still has fight in him. Matt is not a weak dude, so that's why I made this matchup. I think it's gonna be interesting, but I'm gonna say 3-2 Tony. Okay, and Matt knows I got love for him. So next we got Nikita versus Kenny. Now I've seen videos pop up here and there of Nikita pulling some people, man. And Kenny, you know, I know Kenny has definitely been continuously training. Kenny's pronation, his back pressure, his cup feels fantastic. Nikita seems pretty nasty though. I haven't seen like a crap ton of footage, but the things I have seen pop up here and there with Nikita, man, he looks like a pretty damn strong dude, man. But I think I'm gonna put the edge in Kenny just because I know Kenny more. I'm gonna say 3-2 Kenny, but I'm not counting Nikita out on this one, man. Nikita, I mean, there's like I said, videos, practice pulls. You can't really say too much here and there. Like you can't put a lot of stock in them, right? But you know, he's definitely, he's got something there. He's pretty spicy. So I wouldn't be surprised if this does end up going the other way. So that's that. And next, we got yours truly versus Levi Radkowski. All right, I know a lot of people, including myself, are looking forward to this match here. And as far as how I think it's going to go, so historically, Levi has always beat the shit out of me, right? And he's been taking a hiatus. Now, as far as that hiatus, and how hiatus-y it has been, because we know we'll say we'll take breaks, but we'll still be lifting in the background and doing all this stuff. So historically, Levi has always been stronger than me, flat out, right? No shame in saying that. The dude is a beast, right? His hook especially. Now, from the last time, all I can really comment on from this point is from the last time that I practiced with Levi, I have gotten considerably stronger since then. Considerably stronger. So, we all know arm wrestling. A pound of strength in arm wrestling feels like the earth moving in many cases, right? So, that right there I think is going to be interesting, especially in my hook and how strong I've gotten in my hook. You can tell, you can ask anybody who's trained with me recently how my hook is feeling, and they can testify to the fact that my hook is feeling pretty tremendous recently. So, and I'm going to go right in it with him. I'm going to go right in the hook. So, to be honest, trying to be fair here, I think this could be a war. I think this could be a war. Obviously, I would love to just say I'm going to beat Levi and beat the crap out of Levi 3-0, right? But I think this could actually be a war. I think it actually could be, and I kind of hope it is, right? Because wars are always very fun to watch. And obviously, I got to give myself the edge, man. I got to give myself the edge. I've improved on a couple things. Even my King's move, the way y'all remember me doing my King's move, I worked on that too. And I've thought about some of the mistakes that I make if I get caught in it. So even from a defensive standpoint, I've been working on some stuff there. So this could end up being a war. It could be the case that Levi just still managed to maintain that strength gap on me this entire time, and he just crushes me. Or it could be the case that I just blow his ass out. He crush him back 3-0. We're just gonna have to see. And but I'm gonna give myself the edge, 3-2. I feel like I have progressed a lot since that last time that I gripped up with Levi at a practice a long time ago. Been like a year or so, almost a year and a half, I want to say, something like that. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going with myself 3-2. I'm going with myself 3-2 for a number of reasons. 3-2. Okay, so and then after that, basically headlining the right hand. I am so happy this match is happening, man. Bryce Meadows versus Eli Lanning on the right hand. This one here, man, it's like, we know Bryce is a special boy. He's a very special boy. We saw what Bryce did to me, carved through me like it was nobody's business. And that was pretty definitive, right? And we have seen Eli carving through a lot of competition lately, rising to the top of the ranks in the super heavies in North Carolina. This right here, man, I think just with Bryce having that factor, I think stylistically, Bryce is a bit of a troublesome guy for Eli there. And, man, dude, I'm going to have to go 3-1 Bryce. But Eli, prove me wrong and avenge me. Okay? Avenge me, Eli. Beat up Bryce and prove me wrong. Make me shut up there. And then after that, we're going to have the real headliner match, Jada Swain versus Jack Hoeing, right? This right here, we're going to end the right hand with this right here. So Jada Swain is my guy Chris Swain's son, and Jack Hoeing is Adam Hoeing's son. So this right here, Jack Hoeing beats Jada last time. So, I mean, I don't know, man. When you got somebody like Adam as your dad, it's hard not to be a strong kid. I might have to give this one again to Jack Hoeing. But Jaden has been training, and we'll see if he's made some improvements enough to take something here. But I think I'm going to have to say 3-1 on Jack for that one there. And moving on to the left arm here. So we got, again, Giles Russell versus James Looper on left. Now, Giles' left is also pretty freaking nasty, man. So this right here, man, I just think, like, unless James is able to control center and get some kind of, and get Giles on the B side, I just think Giles' hand is going to be too much for James. But, you know, I love my guy James. You know, what we're just going to have to see. But I'm gonna say 3-1 Giles on that one there. And then we got Matt Engelhard versus Chase Holtzclaw. These guys have been talking a ton of shit back and forth. These are some funny guys here, man. Matt has definitely been making a lot of progress, but so has Chase, man. This could be a war, bro. This could be a war. I am calling a toss-up. 3-2 either direction. That's my decision. 3-2 either direction. That is what we're gonna do. Okay. And then Victor, my guy Victor Vladimirov again versus Ethan Bridgman. Victor filling in. Previously, this was Colby Murphy versus Ethan. So Victor's left is nasty as hell. I felt both of his arms. So I too, man, I'm gonna say 3-0 Victor, man. I got faith in my guy. I got faith, I do. I like Ethan though. We'll see though. Gage Taylor versus Hunter Welch on left. Ooh, man, I felt Hunter's left before. That shit is nasty. Gage has been training pretty hard, but I think I gotta give it to Hunter, man. I'm gonna go 3-1 or 3-0 Hunter. I think it's gonna be very tough for Gage to establish hand control versus a strong hooker like Hunter. We've seen Gage establish hand control versus Kurt, but in my experience, Hunter is better at catching and maintaining hand control and transitioning than I think Kurt is. No disrespect to Kurt, love both you guys. But I'm going to give that one to Hunter, man. I think I'm going to have to go 3-1 Hunter Welch. Next, we got David Singletary versus Kurt Welch on the left here. And then with that one, it all depends on if David can get that press in. And I think Kurt is experienced enough to not let him do that. I'm going to say 3-1 Kurt. But let's see. If David, he's very explosive with that press, but I think Kurt is experienced enough to counter it. So we'll see what kind of lanes that David gets into. Or David might just shut me up and flash pin Kurt Welch 3 times. But I'm going to have to go 3-1 Kurt on that one. And then Keith McKee versus Cody again. Again, I don't know Cody well here, so I'm just going to say, we'll say 3-2 Keith McKee on that one, just because of my ignorance there. And then we got, again, Matt Schreiber versus Tony Hasbrook on left this time. And this one here, I think could actually be a war. I think this could be a war. Now, Matt's left is pretty strong. I've gripped up with him left a few times. Tony's left is pretty freaking nasty too, though. And Tony has a hell of a hit. I think if Matt's not ready for that, man, he's going to be in a world of trouble. Tony has a very fast, very committed hit. And Matt needs to look out for that. Matt's hand is pretty damn strong, though, on left. So we're going to see, man. This could be a war. I think I'm going to have to give it 3-2 to Tony, though, man. Just based on my experience with both of them. But let's see, man. I think Matt could also take this. That's why I made the match. So, lastly, I am going to be pulling for the last match of the day, left-handed versus Jonathan Stotesbury. Now, me and John ran it right-handed last time. We're supposed to run it right-handed again this year. John, unfortunately, had an injury, so he's recovering from that. And so, Corey Little was originally supposed to be pulling John. Corey had some stuff come up. Unfortunately, couldn't make it. No worries on that there. I'm not going to leave John hanging, so I'm going to jump in there. Historically, John has beat the shit out of me on left hand. I'm giving this 3-1 John Stotesbury. And that one is just like when you throw that jab in a fighting game, you're like, you're not going to perfect me, bro. That's what that one is for my side. So 3-1, if not 3-0, John Stotesbury. But who knows, man? Maybe I'll find something in me to fight. But I don't care. Like, I don't want to say this to diminish anything that John does with me. But like, my left does have a kick to it. But I don't lift weights with this arm, man. I don't lift with this arm. I just, arm wrestle and that kind of stuff. So I definitely got something there, man. There's something, but compared to a lot of other guys on left in my brackets, it's kind of pitiful sometimes. So yeah, left is considerably weaker than my right. But we're gonna see, man. I'm gonna come at John. I'm gonna give it all I got, and who knows, man? Maybe I'll walk away with the victory on that one. Well, we will see. We will see. But that pretty much wraps it up for the card. I will go ahead and also share the card on this post here. And yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks again to all of our sponsors, to the competitors, for everybody who's making this event happen. At the venue there, Hyde Park Bar and Grill, 625 East Whitaker Mill Road in Raleigh, North Carolina there. If you want to stop on through. The matches will start probably at 1 p.m., if not a little bit before 1 p.m. if we can help it there. Hard cutoff time at 5:30. We all need to be out of that place by 5:30. So just so you know ahead of time, it's not going to be like an all-day thing. We're going to be there for a good few hours and then dip out and enjoy our nights. So let's pull hard, guys. We're going to make it happen. Live streaming with the NC Media. We're doing it bigger, better this time. And next year, we'll do it even bigger, even better. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I will catch y'all in the next one.